So this thing called talent, the unfair advantage you're either born with or you're not. The magical buff that makes everything, even effort itself, easier. Sounds hopeless, right? Or is it? So a viewer recently told me that talent is the end-all be-all for becoming a successful artist. And I don't fully agree, but it's also not as simple as just work hard or something like that. So today we're diving into this magical word, talent. What it really means, whether it actually exists, and most importantly, what you can do to catch up even if you feel you weren't born with it. Okay, so some people throw talent around like it's a single gift that instantly makes you draw like Tokyo Ghoul or something, but in reality I'd argue that it's a bunch of different traits like observation skills, maybe hand-eye coordination, visual memory, creativity, that's a big one, perseverance, and even patience. Someone might be talented in one area, let's say hand-eye coordination, but not so much in others, like visual memory for example. This might cause them to have amazing, like confident, strong lines from the get-go, but they might struggle with anatomy still, just like us normal plebeians from Earth do. So that raises the question, is this really even talent? Doesn't it sound like simple strengths and weaknesses? Someone might have stronger visual memory, making observation easier. Someone else might have steadier hands or better spatial awareness, but here's the kicker. Another person might not have those, but have insane grit or a knack for storytelling that still makes their art shine in a way. But honestly, you can still refer to these as talent, let's be real. The definition of the word is, let's see, a natural aptitude or skill. And these are pretty much like that. So for the rest of this video, for the sake of clarity, I'll refer to these strengths as talent still. If effort alone worked, everyone who practiced would be a pro, right? But they're not. Of course they're not. Why? One of the biggest reasons is misguided practice, like doing the wrong drills, lack of constructive feedback, or hitting walls in certain traits like patience or discipline. So maybe we do have a chance to draw like the author of Tokyo Ghoul one day, but the road getting there is at some times longer and more elevated for some. It would be like walking on a Stairmaster versus just walking on a treadmill. Or I guess just walking at that point. So we've established that yes, talent quote unquote is real, and that if you aren't born with the right traits, art can be much more of a hassle and a difficulty to learn and get to a higher level in. It's true, but that's not why most of us are frustrated seeing talent, right? Some people see talent as not only all that I've mentioned above, but also as a higher starting point.
Objection!
Talent is just more visible early. Talented quote-unquote beginners get praised because their progress is obvious right away. So what I'd argue is that talent is visible early, but effort is visible later. Your art often would look average for years and years and years. In my case, it looks terrible for years and years and years. Sometimes these people will suddenly just leap ahead once the skills that they had to dig up from the earth with their bare hands instead of with an excavator all click together. I mean, I can't say I'm one of them. I've kind of been getting a bit too comfortable with my art recently, so I've been a bit behind on my anatomy studies, but yeah, I'll do better. Take me for an example. I was seen as the gifted kid back in school. We all know the type. I didn't have to study much, but I still got the top marks, and so I got comfortable. And guess what happened when I went to university? It's embarrassing to admit, kind of. Hopefully no one I know watches these videos. I was damn near the bottom of my classes for most of them. It's because I didn't learn how to apply myself and actually discipline myself to study. I got the degree, sure, but like, come on. It's only when I learned to do those things with effort that my marks slowly began to climb back up. I don't think talented people have no struggles or that it's just an easy way up to the top. There's just different struggles for the two parties, in my opinion. For talented people, it's the struggle of learning how to learn. For people like us, it's the delay in seeing improvement that makes us underestimate ourselves. Easier said than done, I know, but keep at it. Watch tutorials, do studies, work hard, see where it gets you in a few more years, and of course enjoy the process. Okay, with all that said, here's my harsh truth. No, in my opinion, not everyone can be the next Yusuke Murata. Part of why we're human and not robots is because of our differences. While we might be able to work just as hard as him, we don't have his exact strengths and weaknesses, and we will never have the exact same life experiences he had either. Talent does create differences, and not everyone will hit the same ceiling, but I want to say this, your ceiling is almost always higher than you think, and especially if you practice smart and keep pushing. Of course, the people familiar with Minecraft will probably recognize it as being put in at the end of the end poem. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones that you did do. Okay, wait. Well, I am gonna change it up so it's more relevant to art. So don't waste years worrying if you were born for this. Throw off the bowlines. Sail away from those same old 3/4 angles. Explore, dream, discover. You might end up surprised. Hopefully that wasn't too cringe. Okay, so what did I really want to say here? Talent matters, effort matters. You might not start on the same step as everyone else, and it may not be as easy to walk up the stairs as everyone else, but I'd argue that the staircase is still there, and you can climb higher than you think. Hey everyone, thanks again for watching the video. And before I say anything else, thank you to this person for letting me use their comment as a basis for the video. There was quite a bit of discussion in my previous video about the topic of talent, and I thought a lot about it ever since I got it, and the topic resonated with me enough for me to actually pause the video I was working on to make this one instead. The comment was, of course, controversial, but I would say it's a valid frustration to have. I know some people just seem better at everything that you do with like 1/4 of the effort that you put in, and I would love to hear what you think of this video too, and maybe even talk to you more. But yeah, hopefully this video isn't too controversial. I know the discussion around talent is a big thing in the art community. Even if you completely disagree with this video, I hope that you can see this as me trying my best to help. You know, I'm not trying to downplay people's frustration on this topic. Hope it doesn't seem that way, and I hope you also get some entertainment out of it. You know, I haven't done the Ace Attorney bit yet. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. It's gonna take a bit of effort this time. But yeah, that's what I think about talent. If you enjoyed the video, a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated as always. Thanks again for the comment. I do genuinely wish you luck with your art journey, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.